In battle royales, looting is the key to getting proper fighting materials. Whether it be heals, guns, ammo, armor, you name it, it is crucial to get these necessary supplies in order to do well in the game. This video is here to help you improve the speed at which you loot in battle royales and help you manage your inventory to keep things organized. If you're new around here and find this video in the slightest bit helpful, please consider subscribing. It's free and it helps grow my channel. Thank you. One of the biggest issues I find players make when looting is simply not knowing what they need. They do not have a plan and therefore loot slowly. Here are some ground rules that have worked for me and just about everyone else I've ever helped. Look at your inventory and mentally ask yourself what you need. First and foremost, every season there's a meta where some guns are simply just better than the others. You can go based on the meta, but you should also go off of personal preference, because if you have the option to run one gun that you're more comfortable with over another, run the one that you perform the best with. However, if you have better attachments for the gun you aren't the best with, you can either drop it and trade one in for your teammates, or you can just suck it up and use it. When landing in any game, the first thing you need is a gun. So at least one weapon, any weapon, it's a priority over anything and everything else. That gun needs bullets as well, so the second priority when looting regardless is to grab some ammo. After you grab some ammo, your next looting priority is going to be healables. You are without a doubt going to take damage throughout the game, so you will of course need to heal. Even if you're in a death box and you have an empty red evo shield and there's a blue evo shield that's full in the box, grab the blue one momentarily just in case you get third party, because spoiler alert, it's Apex Legends, you are probably going to get third party. After you grab healing items, then I suggest that you look around to start upgrading your armor and backpack. You need better armor so you can soak up more damage and prolong your death, and you also need a backpack to carry more ammo, heals, and grenades. Lastly, look around for attachments. Now, if you run by a battery or a better shield before you even have a gun and there isn't a gun around, do not skip over it. Pick those items up now so you don't have to in the future. If you find other items early, including attachments or heals, pick them up as well. Once you have your weapons and you're ready to fight, you should take note of how much ammo you have and what you should be carrying. First off, if you rock a wingman, 30-30 repeater, shotgun, sniper, or bow, you only need at most 2 stacks of ammo per weapon. However, if you are not tight on space and have extra room for more, 3 stacks is plenty and 4 is just extra. In regards to other weapons like the R301, Spitfire, R909, etc., things get a bit more complicated. A good rule of thumb is to at least have 3 stacks of ammo for ARs, SMGs, and LMGs, but if you have extra room, try your best to push for 4 stacks. 180 bullets goes really quickly, especially with longer range weapons with the Hemlock, Flatline, and R301, because you will be peaking more with those at farther ranges when you probably shouldn't be. So that's why I opt for 240 bullets for that weapon. If you're running 2 weapons of the same ammo type, I recommend you run 360 bullets. My reasoning is because you're going to go through the ammo twice as fast, and sometimes you won't be able to loot your kills before the next fight. When you're rocking 2 weapons of different ammo types, and those weapons just so happen to be SMGs, ARs, or LMGs, then rocking 180 rounds of each ammo type is probably preferred more than anything. If you have the extra room and you have a maxed out backpack, then 240 rounds. If you really want to go that route, you can. However, it's unnecessary. Usually the gun that you're going to be using the most, I like to rock 240 rounds. The other one I'll rock 120 or 180. It just comes down to personal preference, and I would recommend at least rocking 180 of each. And if you have the extra space, rock 240 of the one that you're going to be using the most. That's really it when it comes to ammo specifically. There's not much else to say other than that if you have extra room in your inventory, then I would recommend you run some extra ammo, because trust me, you might end up needing it, or your teammates might, and that extra 60 rounds you drop for a friend can be a game changer. When carrying healables, there are some pretty simple rules to follow. For the most part, you'll be healing your shield more often than your health, so you'll want to carry more shield healables. I recommend at least 2 batteries and 8 cells. If you have more room, then carry another stack of bats or another stack of cells, preferably a stack of bats. If you have the room, carry a Phoenix kit as well. They are very situational though, and you will rarely get the full time to pop one off without being pushed, so I would recommend bats over a Phoenix kit any day. But if you cannot find more bats and or you have the extra room, it definitely doesn't hurt to pick it up. Up next are health healables. These are your syringes and medkits. I recommend carrying a stack of either or 1 stack of both, but any more than that is absolutely unnecessary. If you have to choose between medkits and syringes because you are tight on space, go with the med kits. They take longer than a syringe, but remember that a med kit is faster than 2 syringes. And if you need to heal a singular syringe worth of HP, that should not be a priority, especially in the middle of a fight, because that's just going to be a waste of time for you and your team. What you can carry is dependent on your backpack, but you should be able to carry 8 cells, 2 bats, 2 med kits, and 4 syringes with most backpacks. If you made it this far into the video, you're probably wondering why I haven't discussed looting faster in BRs. And the truth of it is that I already did. At the beginning of the video, I said the biggest issues players have is that they do not have a plan and therefore loot slowly. I would like to add to this the indecisiveness of players as well, not being able to choose between what loot to carry, what gun to carry, etc. I did already cover as to what loot and guns that you should carry earlier, but I would like to say that if you follow everything I said previously, then you will most likely loot much faster, and because of this, you'll be far more efficient in the game. In regards to physically looting faster in the game, when looking at a pile of loot on the ground, take note of what you have, what you don't have, and mentally create a list of what loot is a priority. For example, if your shield is cracked and you're in the middle of a fight, go ahead and go for a shield swap on a box. And if your other loot is okay, maybe you might not have the best attachments in the world, or your ammo count is, you probably have 100 rounds instead of 120 or 180, you'll probably be alright if you don't pick up any more ammo or attachments. Now, if you have the time to pick up those attachments or that extra ammo, then go for it. However, if your teammates need you and it's a very dire situation, shield swap and get back into the fight. If you are looting post-fight, you have a bit more leeway in terms of how long you should be looting for. Just take note that you should not be sitting there looking at all the shiny items for too long, because trust me, the third party is either on their way or already there. As for actually physically looting faster, scroll down immediately inside death boxes and loot menus to quickly view what items you need. As you do this, move your cursor downwards as you scroll down to pick up anything along the way for more efficiency. One last thing I'd like to mention is that when looting a death box and your inventory is full in Apex, you can select the item you want by long pressing it, but because your inventory is already full, you can't add it, so the game asks you what you wanted to replace it with. When this pop-up appears and you have to replace multiple items, you can do so one by one very slowly, or you can drop a bunch of unnecessary items that you do not need by pressing the corresponding button on your input device that the prompt states, and it will allow you to drop multiple items without exiting that screen. A lot of players don't actually know about this, mouse and keyboard players and controller players alike, and it has to be one of the most useful looting tips I could ever give someone. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, comment down below some different ways you manage your inventory and how you loot faster in game. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this, because I've been 𝕧𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕤. I'll see you all next time. Peace.